The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are slowly falling in the division of the NFC South, a division that looked like it was theirs to lose. That there wasn't really much of a challenge, with the Atlanta Falcons looking the way that they have, and now that they've lost Michael Penix Jr., they're all but out of it for sure. The Saints we knew weren't going to be much this season, and they've proven sort. But don't look now, but the Carolina Panthers are one game out of the division lead in the NFC South. Yeah, those Carolina Panthers, led by Bryce Young at quarterback. Didn't expect much from Carolina, but they have played better and they have gotten some nice wins. And now they find themselves, if they win against the 49ers on Monday Night Football, they take the lead in the NFC South. Are we seeing Tampa Bay just run out of steam? This is a team that's dealt with so many injuries, all throughout the season. Mike Evans being in and out of the lineup, Chris Godwin coming back from an injury from last season. He's been kind of in and out of the lineup. Emeka Egbuka, another star wide receiver that Baker Mayfield's had, that's kind of been in and out of the lineup at times. Bucky Irving at running back, has been out most of the season with a multitude of injuries, and I think some off field stuff. And now Baker Mayfield, who the MRI came back pretty good for Baker Mayfield. If you watched the game, you saw that he injured his left shoulder and had to leave the game. The MRI came back and said that it revealed a low-grade AC joint sprain in his left shoulder, but no additional damage, according to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler. The general feeling is that Mayfield is pretty fortunate to not have sustained a far more serious injury, although the status for next game against the Arizona Cardinals remains uncertain. But there are no long-term injury concerns. But looking at this and how this team has just dealt with the attrition of the injuries, I think it's starting to just be too much to handle. Now, they've done a phenomenal job of staying afloat despite all the injuries. But I'm just starting to feel like, I'm starting to wonder if just like it's becoming too much to deal with now. Because now your quarterback is injured and you're talking about his non-throwing shoulder. It's going to be hard for Baker Mayfield to really protect himself, even though it's not the shoulder he uses to throw the football with. So you wonder if that's just going to be the thing that finally starts to do Tampa Bay in. It's just like the injuries have just piled up and they've been overall too much to sustain. I think it starts with Baker Mayfield, whether or not he can play or not, because if Baker Mayfield doesn't play, I don't think Tampa Bay has any chance of winning a game without him, let alone the other injuries that they've been sustaining. So it's going to start with how Baker Mayfield responds to practice this week, and we'll see if he plays. If he does play, I give Tampa Bay a chance for sure, to stay afloat and win the NFC South. But if he doesn't play, I think Tampa Bay is slowly going to lose that lead to the Carolina Panthers. And we live in a world where we could see the Carolina Panthers host a home playoff game. Imagine that. From where Carolina has been, they actually have a chance to do that. I'm not ready to crown them just yet. We have to wait and see what happens, but it's a wild possibility that could happen.